Sweet like candy.
Hey guys, it's Chloe and welcome back to Larosediaries. So this week on Larosediaries is story time week. And literally once we created this channel, I was so excited because I've never done a story time video. And I have what I think is a pretty good one for you guys because people have been asking me to tell the story ever since I tweeted about it on Twitter back in February. Thought it was like a pretty weird situation, especially because nothing interesting ever happens to me. Before I tell the story, I just wanted to say that this is not at the expense of anybody. I'm not trying to be mean in or any way. I just thought this was like a weird situation that I would tell you guys about. I'm obviously changing all of the names of the people involved just to not like expose anybody. With that all said, let's get into the story time. So this story is about the time I got offered a penny to go out with somebody. Literally not clickbait, like this is totally true. I'll start from the beginning. So this one guy, he was in a couple of my classes, and let's call him Niall because that's a general name. His name's not Niall, but we're gonna call him Niall. He seemed like he liked me a lot or whatever, and he was like flirting with me the whole year, and I kind of like didn't like him, but he was a nice kid. I was just like kind of friends with him or whatever. He got my number from one of my friends, and I was like, okay, that's cool. My friend obviously didn't ask me if she was to give out my number, but I was like, it's fine. He would text me about like homework and stuff, and it was cool, and like we'd share answers. The story takes place on the last day of the semester. He texted me and he was like, oh, I need to see you after class. I have a question about the study guide and just meet me after class or whatever. So I was like, okay, fine. So I come and he doesn't have the study guide in his hand. He didn't have a question about the study guide. He starts off his story and he's like, so I lied about having a question in the study guide. Really, like I was caught in the headlights at this point. And he was like, so I know I'm not the most attractive or athletic person. Now, okay guys, just a pointer, like if you're a guy and you're watching this video, be confident when you're asking a girl out. I could tell this kid was like nervous. He has his box. I'm like, oh gosh, like what's in the box? I'm so scared, like what he's gonna ask me. He takes out a penny. Oh gosh. What do you mean? We're literally standing in the middle of the hallway. Oh no. I think he sees it on my face. Want to go to a movie or something one time? I have this penny. And I was like, I'll text you. And I took the penny and I ran away. That probably wasn't the most appropriate response, but literally I was just so shocked at the situation and I didn't want to hurt his feelings. I'm a very awkward person and shy. After the whole situation with the penny happened, I just kind of had this bad feeling. And obviously, girls, you should never feel bad that you don't like somebody. Say no, kind of like I did. I kind of just eased out of it. I was hoping he would realize that I wasn't into him by my awkward, horrible facial expressions and response. You can see what I'm thinking, like by my face. I went on throughout the rest of my day. I get a girl who, I didn't talk to her that much, but she was into one of my art classes. Oh, did Niall ask you to RTC ball? And I was like, no. Was he going to? And then she's like, yeah, he didn't do it? Oh no. And I was like, ooh. So there was that. He was going to ask me to like this dance. Saw like by my facial expressions, I'll just offer her this penny to go to a movie with me. Oh, that's interesting. And like I kind of like walked away from her. And the next day I went into school and this was the last day of the semester. It was the final and he like didn't even talk to me or even really look at me. Then that night he texted me, so I actually wanted to ask you to do the RTC ball. And I was like, oh. And then he was like, yeah, so do you want to go? And I was like, I mean, I don't really know you that well, and you're really sweet, you know. This really, like, nice response, you know, because I didn't want to hurt his feelings, but I just wanted to get the message, like, no, I'm not really interested in you that way. That's how I handled the whole situation, and I think I did a pretty good job of it, except for, like, my horrible facial expressions. For this story, girls, what you should get out of it is never just say yes to a guy just because he asked you. Go out with people who you want to go out with. And guys, you should get from this story, never belittle yourself if you're asking a girl out. Like, be confident, you know? So I hope this story time teaches you a lesson. 2 months later, one of my friends, oh, you know Niall? Like, he was telling that story about that time he asked you out with a penny. He literally tells that story all the time. And I'm like, that makes no sense because it was kind of embarrassing for him. It would be fine to tell this on the channel because he tells that story all the time. Like this story time, be sure to give this video a thumbs up and comment down below what you would have done in that situation. Also, I'm Chloe Griffin. If you're not subscribed to my main channel, be sure to subscribe to that down below. And to subscribe to Larosediaries, click down below and click right here. I hope you all enjoyed this video and I'll see you guys next week. Bye!
Sweet like candy.